Hello and welcome to the bi-monthly annual podcast, the only podcast that thinks the Godfather trilogy is, okay.
It's fine. I mean, the first one was really good. And then,
The second one is awesome.
And then it rounds out kind of like a ball of shit, you know.
Yeah, but,
We can't, 2 for 3. It's a 67, you almost passed.
you almost passed. Yeah.
That's why it's
Actually, that would be about 66.66, but...
So, I mean, I don't want to imply The Godfather is satanic.
Well, there's one extra 6 in there, so it's
it's
just kind of bad.
Technically, there's an infinite number of repeating 6s in there. Math jokes!
Thank you.
You're welcome. That's a great way to start the podcast.
That counts as the educational part of the podcast,
Agreed.
by the way.
Agreed.
Anyway, we are your hosts, Zach Graham.
I am also We Are Derek.
Thank you, Derek.
You're welcome.
And welcome to the bi-monthly annual podcast. Seeing as this is our first official podcast, I figured it would be appropriate for us to introduce ourselves. And I'm not an asshole, so Derek, go ahead.
My name is Derek Key. I am a huge geek. I've always been like a classic nerd. I play Magic the Gathering, which you can blame the guy to my left for, even though he doesn't play the game anymore.
Fuck Magic.
And I'm a big movie nerd. I also am really big into music, and so you'll always kind of hear this weird, like, analytical approach to these sorts of topics from me.
Basically, he graduated from college, so...
Fuck off. So I unfortunately take it. That would make a good paper, even though I don't ever have to write papers again.
You don't know that. You might go to grad school.
God, don't remind me that is probably going to happen. If that happens on the podcast, I promise you I'll bitch as a grad student.
Oh yeah, dude. That's all grad students do is bitch.
From my experience, yes, and I can't wait to enjoy that. Anyway, Zachary, who are you?
I am Zach. I am currently a college student, so I don't get to be an asshole yet, but I can be at times. And
actually, I think that entitles you to being more of an asshole, to be honest. You have to deal with college.
Exactly. I am a writer. I am an actor. I can kind of play the guitar really shitty, and...
I mean, to be fair, I could have said some of those things, too. Fine, Zach, be smarter and better at this than I am.
Well, I think things through, and you
I'm proud. I'm so proud of you.
Anyway, that's about it for me. Derek, have you done anything interesting lately?
Honestly, dude, I've just been cooking a lot. Like, I haven't, because I was in college and I was poor and didn't have any time, I haven't really been cooking a lot, and cooking's always been a really big passion of mine. And so now that I've gotten a job that's not food industry oriented, so I can actually cook for fun for the first time in years. So I've been cooking a lot of weird stuff lately. I just made homemade tachos, which are tot nachos, and
that sounds like a fat kid's dream.
Oh,
man.
It was, dude, I did nothing. I drank like 3 beers and 8 tachos for like an hour and a half last night, and gotta say, last night was pretty great.
Did you get drunk?
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
drunk off cheese.
Yeah, you saw my Snapchats.
I did. They were graphic.
I'm shameless, and I Snapchat all the liquor I drink and all the food I make.
Well, yeah. I mean, what else is Snapchat for?
I'm 22. Like, that's all I've got.
Yeah, you're past the dick pic point.
Yeah, but I'm like before the look at my kids and my dog and my whatever.
Yeah, you're still allowed to be a little bit vain.
Agreed.
Just a little bit.
Oh, that's like the only place I really have a ton of vanity aside from maybe Mitomo.
That's what I was going to say.
Great segue.
That's all I've been doing lately is Mitomo. And
I mean, you wrote me into it too, so don't feel bad.
Oh, I rope you into everything, apparently.
Yeah, it's kind of your fault.
It's all my fault.
Oh, pop punk.
I don't need you or this town.
That is honestly directly your fault why I listen to so much pop punk.
What can I say? I'm influential. But
that is the best way to put it.
Influential, not,
hey, listen to my shit so we can talk about it. Which, I've never felt that way, but come to think of it, that is kind of how it is. Hey, I like this thing. Listen to it so we can talk about it now.
It is what it is, man.
I mean, I made you listen to Turnover for, like, the same, like, 4 songs by Turnover for, like, 3 days straight.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was upset and drunk half that time anyway,
and
so
plus
it's okay.
Turnover's, like, a really great band. Listen to Turnover. Don't, not call to action-y, but Turnover's good. Listen to Turnover.
It's pretty good. If you want to hear, like, what The Cure and the Postal Service would sound like together...
That's basically what that band is.
That's basically what it is.
Well, we've already hit the tangent part of the show. Great.
Yep, okay, so... Let's get on to real topics.
Yeah, topic 1.
Topic 1. All right. So, in honor of the new Star Wars Rogue One trailer debuting, and if you don't know anything about Star Wars because you have a life, Star Wars Rogue One is about how the plans to destroy the Death Star...
Well, the schematic for the Death Star.
The schematics for the Death Star and the eventual death ray, if you will, that destroyed Alderaan. And...
That's still my favorite meme, is just the picture from Disney World. It's just rubble and them doing construction. It's like, oh, look, the Alderaan section of Disney World.
Oh,
it makes me so happy every time I see it.
All those people died.
They did.
Oh. But anyway, so basically, if you don't know what Star Wars is or you never watched it, you don't understand a word that I just said. But the point is that it's not part of the main story. It is a one-off movie about random characters within the Star Wars universe. So, Derek and I thought it would be interesting to talk about different Star Wars one-offs.
Potential one-offs
that would be fun and interesting to watch. Because the Star Wars universe is vast. It's basically a mirrored version of our society. So what would be interesting to see?
Something, and it would be a really avant-garde piece of film. But have you ever read
I'm going to stop you there.
No, hang on. Let me go here.
Okay.
Have you read the play No Exit? That's about, that hell is other people and everything?
Yeah.
I would love to see an interpretation of that is just the Sarlacc pit. That would be great. And then it just ends with Boba Fett flying in. That's the end of the show. So it implies that Boba Fett is Satan as well. That would be amazing.
But then Boba Fett is a clone, so therefore clones are Satan?
Hey, I mean, I'm not here to split hairs. That's wherever the audience wants to take it, man.
That's just wherever they
think.
No,
but like, think about it. It's all the people... Because, I mean, the Sarlacc is described as a place of eternal torment, like hell.
Yes.
And it's all the people that Jabba the Hutt has deemed annoying enough to throw into the Sarlacc. And, I mean, that would just be a really interesting... because, I mean, you would have to be stuck in there with those people until you all starve to death, because that's what happens in the Sarlacc. So imagine just, an hour-and-a-half clip of people, talking to each other and dealing with the emotional torment that is being stuck in a sand pit of doom.
Maybe it's not a movie, but it's a 2-part play.
Maybe it's a fruit basket that you give to your friends.
Oh, we can't make really obscure references to shows that I'm 98% sure that only 3 people have watched, and I know all 3 of them.
Dude, I would love it if we had somebody actively go through and make a list of these are all the references they made. We would send that person a fruit basket.
And we would say this is a movie.
Or is it?
Anyway. It's up to you.
Yeah, I mean, anyway.
Let's
not reference BoJack Horseman more.
Anyway, so my idea for a good spin-off would be, what if it follows the rise and fall of a band within the Star Wars universe? Not necessarily a rock band, because I don't know if rock really has a place.
Yeah, if rock is even really, Star Wars oriented. Because, I mean, there's that guy that plays, that circle piano with it's an elephant that I can never remember the actual character name of.
It's okay. It just proves that you have a life. It's fine.
Well, I mean, it just proves that, I don't remember that off the top of my head, but I can actively remember hearing that name, and I know what it is. I just can't remember it, so it means that I don't have a life.
I tried to help you.
No one
didn't take the help.
No one can. You have to pick yourself up. You have to pick yourself up off the ground every once in a while.
Fair enough.
And you know what?
So, anyway.
Rock bottom, everybody.
Rock bottom. My idea for that would be, you would watch this band, they would become really big and then really small, and they start playing smaller venues and smaller venues.
And they go through all these weird, share makeover changes where they come back as totally different, things. And then the last bit.
The last bit would be when Han Solo walks into the cantina that they're playing at, and then you see Obi-Wan Kenobi and Luke, and then it's implied. Yep, that song.
Yeah, they were just this is the logical progression of music, and now it's just all weird jazz, progressive.
Very, very repetitive music.
And this is what it's become.
Looping is the new thing.
Have you seen Demolition Man?
Mm-mm.
I could be incredibly wrong, but if I recall right, this is Demolition Man. But all music has devolved into jingles. And Taco Bell owns all fast food, and now all music they play on the radio are jingles and vintage stuff. And so, like, that's, like, the logical progression of music in that universe. So the logical progression of music in the Star Wars universe, and you can show it through, like, time and do, like, this whole, like, mockumentary, like, Spinal Tap with it.
It's a great mockumentary, though.
Oh, man. We can have a mockumentary section at some point, because I know a lot. And they're great.
We know a lot more than we should about some things. And not enough about a lot of other things that we should know about.
Absolutely agreed.
What's another movie you would like to see within this one-off Star Wars universe?
You know, I think the first movie, the first movie's New Hope. God, kill me now that I said that out loud. Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, gave us one really cool thing.
Yeah.
The pod racing. Pod racing bred, like, the games and Duel of Fates, but let's not get into that.
Yeah.
Pod racing was cool. The games were cool that were bred from it. The movie part was stupid.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was partially stupid because it just introduced all these random characters we don't give a shit about.
Yeah.
I feel like, have you ever seen... Yeah, I would love to see, like, a background of a character, like, where the hell did that guy come from, and what gives him the right to be able to drive pods?
What gives him the right to be a dick to Anakin? God damn it.
You know, what gave Anakin the right to be a dick to children?
Because he is midichlorians.
Oh, okay. And he was being evil. Have you heard that? Have you heard the theory that the Emperor learned the ability to, like... Because, you know that story he tells Anakin where he's like, he had the ability to give life and all that shit, and he kills Plagueis? That was actually kind of an autobiographical thing, and the way that he saved Anakin from dying after the whole Mustafar thing was by taking the life from Padme and giving it to him. Have you heard that theory?
No, I haven't heard that theory.
Super cool. I was like, yay, relevance to why she died, not just she has lost the will to live. What is this, Twilight? Fuck.
No, and what's worse is Jar Jar Binks said it. Susa has lost the will to live.
No, and I thought it was the doctor that said it. I thought it was the weird doctor robot. By the way, no living entity is robots. We've evolved past the need for human doctor. We all have to have, like, these doctor robots now.
Dude, doctor robots would be cool.
No, I'm saying, is that the weird logical progression? Because now we have, like, those remote control surgery things.
Yeah.
Like, is that the logical progression that Star Wars is assuming that the medical industry is going to take? What?
Well, I see it as, I think a robot doctor would be cool because at least a robot doctor would be, like, very upfront with you. Like, you're fat.
It'd be way harder to sue.
It'd be way harder to sue because
Thanks,
they're
America.
programmed to say those things.
That's true.
And if other robots are programming them, then it'll never come back to them.
Tangential, and we won't spend time on this, but...
Robot proxies.
Yeah. But have you ever thought about, like, logically, the reason why doctors always give, like, the worst possible diagnosis is because nobody sues over good news? Like, if people are like, you're going to die in 3 months, and then you live another, like, year and a half, no one's going to be like, hey, he said I was only going to live 3 months. Sue that guy. Like, but if someone's like, you're going to live for the next 20 years, you'll be fine, and you die tomorrow, like, you're going to get your ass sued. Have you ever thought about, like, that weird logical fallacy?
Well, it's only because, like, people only get mad enough to sue other people when bad shit happens.
True. I mean, nobody's going to be like, oh, this is a lawsuit. All right. Oh, like... No one's like, oh, wow, I won the lottery, but I won it with 4 other people, so I didn't get all the money I could have. This is bullshit. I'm going to sue. People are like, I fucking won the lottery. However, if you spill hot coffee in your lap, all of a sudden there's a lawsuit, and McDonald's has to put warnings on their cups, and
everyone else feels stupider in the process.
Yeah, let's get off this soapbox, because I can spend a while here. And plus, this has nothing to do with Star Wars.
Well, I mean,
you know, I would love to see, like, a Saul Goodman of Star Wars. Let's bring this back.
A good medical drama within...
Yeah, just like a backwards-ass Star Wars, like, law, like, just a weird Breaking Bad Star Wars that has to do with the Kessel mines and, like, the salt mines in Kessel, and that would be really cool. And then just like, Star Wars lawyers.
Oh, dude, like, a JAG-type series set in the Star Wars universe with,
that would be awesome.
With, like, the Stormtrooper, like, because they have to have some sort of legal system for those people.
Well, and plus, like, they already under romanticized Star Wars, because the scene in Attack of Clones, the worst fucking movie of all time, where they go into the diner.
Yeah.
Like, why diners? Why? Like, why does Obi-Wan, a Jedi, why is the only person who knows what kind of dirt this is working a diner? Also, that just happens to be on Coruscant. He didn't have to leave the planet. Like, that whole bit just bothers me. But they, like, socialized Star Wars and made it, like, very obvious that this is, like, a world with economics and, like, supply and demand and life and, like, normal stuff. So that kind of thing could really happen. Like,
yeah,
there has to be some kind of weird Law and Order SVU Star Wars edition.
Do 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 do.
Yeah.
Created by Dick Wolf.
Dick Wolf. Dick Wolf is by far one of the coolest names of all time.
Well, but I feel like he's never taken seriously.
Dick Wolf, Wolf Blitzer, you know.
Wolf Blitzer's fine, but Dick Wolf.
Dick Wolf. Dick Wolf sounds like if I ever get into porn, like, Dick Wolf would be the best porn name. I'm not going to use it, obviously, because there is an actual human being called Dick Wolf. But, like, could you imagine, like, a dude that, like, kind of has that Wolverine vibe that has, like, mutton chops and, like, has, like really furry arms?
Yeah.
Being called Dick Wolf. That would actually be kind of... Never mind. Wow. This went
Yeah,
far away from...
Our parents listen to this. Our parents listen to this.
I'm sorry.
All right, I think...
Oh, God. Hey, Dad. Hey, Mom. Sorry.
I'm sorry if that's a bad
This
person.
is my humor.
All right, so, Derek, you've been to Disney World, right?
I have indeed.
What's your favorite ride at Disney World?
I really, really enjoy Space Mountain.
I like the Space Mountain,
Have you ridden Space Mountain whenever all the lights are on inside?
Yeah, it's scary.
Oh my God! Like, they tell you not to raise your hands for a reason.
It's terrifying.
It's super scary. Do you think anyone's favorite roller coaster is the Rockin' roller coaster because they like Aerosmith that much?
No, but I think that a lot of people's favorite ride is the Rockin' roller coaster because it's like the only like fast roller coaster at Disney World. But I had a thought the other day.
Hit me.
That ride needs some updating, as does a lot of the park in Disney World.
I
But
mean,
this in particular because Aerosmith not that popular anymore.
I mean, yeah, they've definitely seen a drop.
They've seen a drop. I mean,
Getting into a really high octave here.
Steven Tyler was recently like a judge on American Idol at one point.
Yeah,
so
like,
he
why?
stayed
I
relevant.
No,
but like,
well, I mean, and his daughter's still attractive.
well, I mean,
Liv Tyler is beautiful.
I'm not disagreeing with you,
but she's like from nose to chin, she does look like her dad, which is kind of weird.
But that means a big mouth.
I'm not sure what that's exactly supposed to mean, Zachary. Again, our parents listen to this.
No, your parents listen to this. My parents don't care.
Oh.
They're like,
that was one of those things that had like the underlying tone of sadness to it. I was
oh no, it's fine. I don't want to have to answer for some of the things
like,
I say.
Oh yeah, God, they're gonna call me and be like, Derek, are you okay? Do we need to put you in therapy? What's up? And I'm gonna be like, oh, you know,
just life.
I moved out when I was 17. A lot of things have happened.
Looks down at the ground, hands clasped behind back, kicking up
sound of silence just on. Okay, can we be honest? The Disturbed version of Sound of Silence is fucking great.
That is good. Good segue back to what we were actually talking about.
Back to bands.
Okay, so I thought
Dick Wolf. Anyway, sorry. I love that I derailed you with 2 words. A reference to something a minute ago.
I was going to say, like, have you ever seen, this is another tangent, but have you seen Clerks, the animated series?
No, I have not.
Okay, so they had
you
one
have
episode.
many Kevin Smith things to teach me.
Oh, yeah, well, they had their first episode, and then their second episode was a clip show from the first episode.
Great.
And it's beautiful. It's so fun. Like, they play the same clips over, like, 5 times. And it's awesome.
Sorry, bodily functions.
You're fine. We're both smokers. We understand.
Life.
Anyway,
former smokers. Let's try to better ourselves.
This is not Better Yourself 2016.
I'm working on it, man.
Anyway, okay, so Rockin' Roller Coaster could stand to be updated.
Agreed.
So, what would be like 5 modern acts that would be good for the Rockin' Roller Coaster that would be appropriate? They don't necessarily have to be rock and roll, because I mean, I think that rock is not really a mainstay anymore.
Rock has become so like delineated to
That's
where
true.
like there's not like pure rock anymore.
I agree.
Like in its truest form. Like, because I mean, what is rock in its essence? Like, is Elvis rock, like true rock? Because I mean, there's not really an Elvis type band really nowadays.
Well, I mean he's rockabilly. I mean, if you want to count the rockabilly movement, which is still alive.
If he's the air quotes king of rock, then is that what true rock is? But even if he's become delineated into rockabilly, air quotes, then even he's not true rock, so there is no true rock, really.
Well, I think you have to keep in mind, like, where Elvis Presley came from, like, you know, blues and, like, all that kind of stuff.
Like, I mean, and heavily influenced by race records of the time, and air quotes race records, you know.
No, that they were, no, he stole that music.
Anyway.
Who hasn't, though? Who hasn't stolen music?
I mean, you know, I had LimeWire.
I know who the police are going to see tomorrow.
I had LimeWire when I was 17. I've bought all of my music legally ever since.
As he stares around and watches for the police to come get him.
Yeah, like,
there, we're going to make an example out of you, boy.
Oh, man, don't say that. If that's real.
No, it's real. Like, it happens. They do it. Anyway.
Like, I would love for them to get on my computer and be like, you've downloaded 8 songs and felt guilty and then bought the albums anyway. Okay.
Okay.
Like, no, true story. That's what happened with me and LimeWire.
I think I maybe illegally downloaded one album, and then it gave my computer a virus, and I was like, oh, well, yeah, fuck that.
Well, see, yeah, immediate karma.
Exactly.
Weird.
Anyway.
Yeah, what was the first band that came to mind?
The first band that came to mind for me was Fall Out Boy.
Fall Out Boy would be really interesting.
Well, not only because, you know, like, because I'm a pop punk fan and whatnot. They're not really pop punk anymore. They're more pop.
Yeah.
But it's got, like, a rock edge to it, and they've been a mainstay in, like, mainstream radio for, like, the last 10 years or so.
My only really big issue with that is how relevant are they now? Because, like, their last, like, what was their last big hit? Like,
their last big hit was, well, it's off that album, but
yeah, what's
their last big one was Uma Thurman.
Oh, yeah.
And so, I mean, but that was a number one single for a little bit.
When was that album? 2 years ago?
That was this year.
Oh, it was this year, or 2015.
Well, yeah, 2015. I forget it's 2016 sometimes.
Yeah, well, so, I mean, yeah, I guess that's still relevance. They're adding to their catalog.
Yeah, I mean, they're coming out with
they already have a leg up on Aerosmith.
Exactly. So, like, well, I mean, they created that roller coaster in the 1990s. I mean, Aerosmith was big in the 1990s.
It was still big at the time.
Yeah, and I mean, they'd had a 20-year career before that.
But has Fall Out Boy, when did Fall Out Boy, like, first album come out? Like, 2003?
Yeah, 2003, 2004-ish, somewhere in there.
I mean, mind you, I went back and listened to that whole album last week, and I still love that album. But
it's a good album. It's like, it's diluted pop punk, but it's still...
it is. It's pop punk that's aimed to be more pop than punk. But, you know,
agreed.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I still like Grand Theft Autumn and, like, Saturdays. And
yeah.
And
my favorite song from that album is Going Off to Space Camp.
That is a good song.
That's a great song.
But, everybody is really just going to be like, I want to listen to Sugar I'm Going Down.
Well, I mean, because it's like...
That's what will happen.
That and, like... But, I mean, there is some of their catalog that would not work for that roller coaster. Like, Dance Dance would be weird, because I kind of hate that song anyway.
It would be fine. Like, it wouldn't be as weird as, like, some of the stuff on from Infinity on High.
I mean, Thanks for the Memories would be cool.
It would be fine. Yeah, it would be fine. Hum Hallelujah would be fine. But, like, the other couple... Like, the couple of downer songs on that album would be really weird.
Just Want to Catch Donnie playing.
Yeah, oh, God. That would be like the Killer's roller coaster, because, like every once in a while you just catch a song where you're like, why am I listening to this song? Why am I listening to this right now?
Why am I This is weird. I don't feel good about
Believe me, Natalie doesn't fit this.
I can't see like you going off, because if you've never ridden the roller coaster, it shoots you off at 60 miles an hour from the, like,
start post, yeah.
Yeah, so I can't imagine, like, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, coming out of my cage and I've been doing just fine. Gotta be down.
Sorry.
Gotta keep it under 10 seconds or we're gonna get sued.
Yeah, I like that song.
I like that song too, but it's not a good roller coaster song.
It's not a roller coaster song. What's, like, I mean, all the things that I've done starts too slow, and, like, the other, like, and everything past Hot Fuss was okay at best.
Yeah, so I don't think the Killers would really work, but...
Yeah, so that was just kind of a weird tangential band I love, so, like, let's not... It's fine.
But I think that probably
Fall Out Boy would be fine.
Fall Out Boy would be fine, but I think if they wanted to go with
like
a band
that's mainstream rock band
that's had a career that spanned almost 20 years, Foo Fighters.
Because they could also throw in, like, a Nirvana song.
a Nirvana
just to
song.
kind of throw it out there, like, oh yeah, hey, remember David Grohl was in Nirvana.
Exactly, like just every once in a while, just
like throw in like one like Lithium, like one of those. Like,
yeah, Lithium would be cool for that roller coaster.
That would be fine.
Or no, what is it? Breed, because it starts
Breed
out
would
with
be really good. But like Nirvana couldn't have their own roller coaster because once again you get into that weird Killers vibe where it's like a couple songs where you're like, this depressing. Is not, like Heart-Shaped Box does not work for a roller coaster.
Or Rape Me.
Oh. I haven't thought about that, but yeah, that would be fucked. There's no other adjective for that.
No, there's not.
Just fucked. Or just be fucked. Okay.
So anyway,
F-U-K-T, fucked.
So I feel as if
Foo Fighters would be good though, because they've been making like rock music since the late 90s, early 2000s, like Fall Out Boy. But they're a lot more like mainstream, and because like everybody knows who Foo Fighters are.
Yeah, exactly.
And like they have a pretty long discography of songs that like, dude, Best of Me would be amazing for that.
Exactly, or Learn to Fly.
Oh, Learn to Fly. Monkey Wrench would be so
Monkey
good.
Wrench would be cool.
Big Me is probably where it would start getting weird, but it would still work.
Exactly. I think Learn to Fly would be the best.
Learn to Fly would be the best. It would be like the climaxy endy one.
Yeah.
They'd probably start with Everlong, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Which is such a good song. Like
it is.
I think Foo Fighters has the discography to support that though.
I believe so too. Another band that I don't think that they would do because of their lyrical content, but Maroon 5 would actually not be a bad fit for that roller coaster either.
Again, Maroon 5, I have the same problem that I have with The Killers, admittedly, in that their first album is awesome, their second album is okay, and then after that it kind of just wisps into this odd what is going on with this band kind of mentality. And a lot of people can disagree with me, and there are a lot of people who are diehard Maroon 5 fans.
I'm not one of them. I particularly don't like their music.
I really, really like their first album. Their second album is okay, and then after that, I kind of just wash out.
Yeah.
Like, whenever, if I get to a point with you where I think covers of your music are better than your music, there's probably something wrong with you as a band.
Exactly.
Like, for me personally. Everybody else, if you like Maroon 5, go for it. I'm not judging you. There's nothing about that. But
you're a mainstream bitch, but, you know.
Well, okay. Let's not Zach, we want to be mainstream. We want people to love us.
No, we're too goth for that.
I'm too gothic.
We're too gothic for that.
Can we not reference My Immortal right now, please?
Another podcast in the future.
No, I don't want to do dramatic readings of fan fiction, Zachary. I can't.
Oh, but we're going to.
I know we are.
Okay, so anyway. Another option.
Hang on. We touched on Maroon 5 briefly. What songs would work for Maroon 5?
Maroon 5,
because like, and there are plenty of options, but like, and there are obviously plenty of not options, like Kiwi from Not Too Soon Before Long, the song that's literally about cunnilingus. Mm-hmm. Probably wouldn't work too well because it's not family friendly at all.
And also, you can't do that on that roller coaster. It is going at 60 miles an hour.
Don't get me wrong. It's a fast-paced song, and I think the rhythm would be fine, but the content of the song is what's holding it back. But like Misery would be fine. Misery would it has a good beat to it, and you could be like, however, I don't know if that's the message you want to convey on a roller coaster.
But like also, now I'm thinking like intrinsically the problems with that. Maroon, like an older Maroon 5 song like that would still sound dated.
That's true. I mean, they definitely have that like early mid-thousands sound to them. Like,
yeah.
I mean, songs about Jane is late 90s, but whatever.
Which is their best. If I'm gonna listen to Maroon 5, that's the one I'm listening to.
Like, I mean, that album has Sunday Morning on it. Like,
exactly. How can you hate Sunday Morning?
You know.
But so intrinsically,
what's another song off songs about Jane that would work?
I don't remember a lot of that album, actually.
Right? Like, now that I think about it, I can't pick out any specific songs other than Sunday Morning off the top of my head.
The problem is that
which I'm sure lots of people are going to be like, what the fuck, that's your favorite album, blah, 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 blah.
But it's like...
I can hear the keyboard clicking.
I feel like also the problem with Maroon 5 is you hear a Maroon 5 song and you forget about it.
Well, I mean, you know why I've blocked out all of my memories of Maroon 5, admittedly.
We've
agreed to not ever talk about that.
We'll have one depression episode.
Yeah, we can have a Sadcast later.
Sadcast. Bi-monthly annual Sadcast.
Like, we just have like a motivational cast, and then the next week is like, well, the motivational cast didn't work. Welcome to the Sadcast.
Welcome to the Sadcast. We're already drunk,
just
and
sound
we're
of
going to
silence
talk about
playing
problems.
in the background. Just hear the Charlie Brown theme in the background the whole time.
Jesus.
Not the good one. The 10 seconds. Anyway.
All right, and another band
I want to coin Sadcast for the record.
Coin Sadcast.
Anyway, this is the ASMR Sadcast.
ASMR Sadcast.
If you don't know what ASMR is, it's whenever people talk like really quietly into the mic like this, and that way you get that weird tingle feeling. It's really relaxing for some people, depending on how you feel like you've got a tinkle, doesn't it? It does a little bit, doesn't it? Shh, just let it go. Anyway, dear God, that might get edited out.
Anyway, before we lose it, another good band that I think that would work would be the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I can get behind the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah, because at least all of their songs are very fast-paced. Yeah, they have to do a little editing, but I mean,
like
they had to edit Aerosmith songs too.
Yeah, I mean of course. I mean it's still Disney and like everything, so like that's not entirely unbelievable that could happen. Like the Red Hot Chili Peppers would be really good. Again, there are a few specific things, but like Scar Tissue would work really well. Yes. That would be really good. It's a good punchy song that has kind of like this interesting meaning to it. Like a Get on Top would be fine. There are a bunch of songs that work for Red Hot Chili Peppers. Danny California would be fine.
Danny California would be
cool. Under the Bridge would be fine.
Oh, Under the Bridge is a little too slow, but
in the beginning, but like the mid part, whenever it kind of beats up, like that would be fine.
And then,
what's the song? What's the specific song that I had in mind?
I have a specific song in mind, but you have to hear me out on it.
Okay, hit me.
It's not from any of their albums, but it's a cover. It's a cover of Love Roller Coaster. From the Beavis and Butthead movie.
I mean, I'm not saying that's not a bad
idea. Roller coaster, roller coaster.
That would be fine. That would be funny just for the novelty of it.
Just because everybody would be like, are you fucking kidding me? They have a whole discography of awesome music. And you're going to use a cover.
This. What is the name of the song that I had specifically on mind?
You have 5 seconds.
I can't remember. It's on Californication.
Tell me, baby.
That's not Californication.
Oh, on Californication.
That's Stadium Arcadium. God.
Okay.
Is it on Californication? It might
no,
be.
It's not. That's
no. It might be on By the Way. What's the first song off By the Way?
By the Way.
Is it By the Way? God, it's the third song.
That would be a good one, though. By the Way would be a good one. By the Way is such a...
By the Way. Anyway. If we start talking about music, all I'm doing is sing. What's the third song from By the Way?
Do you want me to look it up?
No, okay, because it's... That's how the song goes.
Yeah. That's actually not from that album.
I thought it was.
No, that's from Blood Sugar Sex Magic.
Oh, what is the name of that song?
I can't remember, but...
Exactly. I love that song, but I can never remember the name of it.
Anyway.
Yeah, now that I've, like, mumbled my way through that song badly, hopefully bad enough that no one will be able to copyright it.
Okay, so...
I'm sure I'll think of it when we're done talking about it. It doesn't fucking matter anymore.
All right, so... Another interesting topic that I thought of. What would be the worst bands that could go on the Rock and Roller Coaster? And
let's start softly here.
Any one-hit wonder.
Any
band or artist that only
Natalie
has one...
Imbruglia doesn't need to have a Rock and Roller Coaster.
Dude, Mambo number 5 roller coaster.
Number 5 would be fantastic.
I'm
gonna have sex with 5 women. The roller coaster.
I mean, if that's what you want to do on a roller coaster.
I mean, that does sound like an interesting roller coaster. Like there's just like a swingers like park, and like that's a roller coaster. You just sleep with 5 people.
I left Disney World a changed man.
Like, man, Disney World became really different when Ron Jeremy bought it.
I don't want to imagine Ron Jeremy's Disney World. Or, on the one-hit wonders spectrum, the Baha Men. Hey, boo! The roller coaster goes up.
The body was jumping. Yeah, piano. Oh God! Just be punched in the face. You know how I found out? I never bought a Baha Men like album.
Yeah.
Because why would you? But I did have a CD that had that on it, and if you can guess what that CD is.
Radio Disney Jams, Volume 2.
Thank God. I'm so happy you didn't get it, because I was literally going to say we should kill each other with tailpipe exhaust.
Was it
It was the Rugrats in Paris soundtrack.
Fair enough.
I was in elementary school.
Did it have the sad Chucky's mom song on it?
No, it didn't. But no, God, it did. It so did.
I want a mom that'll last forever.
It also had the horrible Aaron Carter song that was like, I Want to Party. And I was like 5, and I was like, I love this song. And now I look back and I'm like, God dang it. You're like, gosh darn it.
Gosh darn it.
Gosh heckin' darn it.
Did we reach our swear limit?
No, I was 5. Whenever I think back to myself as a child, I don't curse. I do. I don't want to corrupt my past self.
Okay. Next bad band.
Oh no.
Nickelback, Stained, or Creed.
They're all interchangeably horrible.
But here, you know how like when you get on the roller coaster and they take your picture as it starts going?
Yeah. Right
before the song starts, just look at this photograph.
No. Look at this photograph needs to play right as you like zip by the camera that takes the picture. That way you're like, find the picture at the end. You're just like, just see people rolling their eyes on the roller coaster.
What's that one song? It's like,
me.
What's that other one really sappy song?
This is how you remind me.
That's the song that plays when like you're looking at the pictures at the end of the roller coaster.
Whenever you get off the roller coaster and they're showing you the pictures and you're like, it's not like you to say sorry. I'm so sorry for bringing you on this roller coaster.
I'm so sorry that we even went here. Why are we should have went to Universal Studios.
No. Like the roller coaster's going up, the like line is like, can you take me higher?
Oh, can we please not Creed? I'm sorry I even mentioned Creed.
Well, I once heard. Like, ugh. I had that one album. Actually, my sister had that one album, so by essence, I had that album.
Your sister just got so much less hot, dude.
Good. She's 20. She's 28 and has a baby, and a husband.
I'm into
and
that.
a former UFC fighter.
I'm not into that.
Yeah,
but
he beat you to death.
I mean,
dude, like the reason he got out was because he didn't want to scar up his face too much so that he could make it in the corporate world, making a buttload of money.
But I feel like if you would have got
my brother-in-law is like one of the coolest, most interesting people to just talk to because he has so many cool stories.
But does he like Creed?
That's nothing I've ever asked him because I don't want to ruin the mystique.
Fair enough. Okay, what would be another bad band?
I think we've already cracked the like just level of horrible. So
okay, what's the worst cash grab they could do?
Cash grab?
Fetty Wap.
Yeah, really any like modern trap music would be
or
horrible.
Like even like if they tried to do dubstep.
God, if it was like 2011 it'd be fine. Because then they could do Skrillex and it would be fine.
It would be cool and everyone would be on board.
But it's not 2011, even though parts of the internet want to think it is. And Skrillex isn't good music.
It's not even good dubstep.
Ever. Like,
he's a good producer. I'll give him that.
I will stick with Deadmau5 and be happy.
Fair enough. That's a little too light for my liking.
Well, I mean, I like electronic music, but that doesn't mean it's dubstep and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah,
let's not get into that delineation. We already talked about rock and roll too much.
Okay, and
another horrible cash grab would be Coldplay. Don't get me wrong. No. Now, I can make a case for Coldplay, too. Coldplay, much like Maroon 5 and Red Hot Chili Peppers, has a long discography. They're still actively making music.
Yeah, but
they have some music. I don't mind Coldplay, but Coldplay also runs into that same wall that like the Killers do, is they have like 2 or 3 really good albums, and then the rest of their music is like, why would this work? Like you couldn't put "Fix You" on a roller coaster. However, it would be a giant cash grab.
All right, let's think of like the worst possible option. Again,
we already talked about Nickelback.
That's
how
true.
Funny that would be.
What about Nicki Minaj?
I'm a bomb ass bitch. Like God, just eat my ass like a cupcake. Whatever you say.
He loved his fatty. You hear that on a roller coaster and you go, I gotta get the fuck off here.
I'm happy this is going 60 miles an hour because it means it's gonna be over soon. Like, oh God. Like, again, now, you can make a case for Nicki Minaj.
You can make a case, but it doesn't make it right.
It's a bad one. But like, because I mean, you would have to edit every single song. You would, what's an R&B that like an R&B artist or whatever genre you want to classify? Drake wouldn't be horrible. Drake's problem is that his music's not really fast paced enough.
Yeah, no, none of his music's really fast paced.
But I mean that's not necessarily bad, but it's not necessarily a great idea either.
Okay. So, speaking of bad ideas,
just in general,
segue.
We don't write segues. We just have a list, and then it's like, let's see what we can do from one thing
No,
to
it's
the
more
next.
like we go, oh shit, this has already gone on for 40 minutes. We still got 2 things to talk about.
Let's go. So, this is kind of a brainchild for both of us.
Yes.
And I'm really proud of this name. And if you don't like it, don't tell me, because it'll make me sad. But this is a segment called Frust-Rated.
Frust-Rated.
Frust-rated. Where Zach and I are going to watch movie trailers and tell you what we think about them before we see the movie. And then we're going to go see the movie. And then tell you if our predictions were right or if we were pleasantly surprised. Doubt it.
All right. So, I just pulled up the Rotten Tomato score for the first movie we're going to watch.
Okay.
Or trailer we're going to watch. And
does it not bode well?
I'll reveal it to you after it so that there is no
there's some
bias.
tension and some suspense.
There's some tension and suspense because, good God, we need it. So, our first movie up today, you get a twofer today, by the way.
Twofer.
Horrible.
Horrible.
Not horrible.
That was one hell of a Freudian slip, my friend. Hardcore Henry, I believe, was the term you were...
Henry.
I wasn't sure which one we were doing first until you said horrible. And then I was like, oh yeah, okay. Not that the second movie's any better, but whatever.
No. Hardcore Henry.
Dear God. Like, it's not a horrible idea.
Okay, so for those of you that don't know, Hardcore Henry
Hey, again, let's not get back to porn titles, but a porn title.
Hardcore Henry is a POV movie. It doesn't get better, does it?
No, it's still horrible porn titles.
It's POV, point of view, and
it's a first-person shooter, which can still be misconstrued as porn.
It's violence porn, but
anyway, let's not get into that. Jesus.
Yeah. It's
topic avoided.
It is a POV movie.
It's a GoPro movie.
It's a GoPro movie.
Is shot from his first-person point of view with a GoPro. My problem is that it's just like, go play a video game. It's literally a video game and a movie, and the premises have all been done. It's literally you're watching. If you like watching people play first-person shooters, they do that on YouTube for free. Don't pay $20 to go do this.
Exactly. Now, I had a thought about this movie.
Oh no. Can I see the? Do I see the smoke raising from your ears?
Yes, you do. The hamster wheel is turning.
The hamster is dying.
It's dying. It's just dying.
It's had 14 heart attacks already.
But anyway.
You need to quit feeding him Cheez-Its.
But he loves Cheez-Its.
I know, man. It's not your fault.
That got weird and existential really quick. Anyway.
What are thought Cheez-Its?
Thought Cheez-Its.
Depression.
Depression, yeah. Anyway.
Mostly brought on by whiskey and Cheez-Its.
What if... I'm trying to stay on topic.
I'm sorry. I am Captain Tangent.
What if Hardcore Henry was not just a GoPro movie, because they have the GoPro 360s now? What if they would have shot Hardcore Henry in 360 scope and made it the first full-length VR movie? Now, I think people would throw up.
Yeah, there would be a certain motion sickness, but it's not like everyone's going to be sitting there with a Virtual Boy.
Exactly.
Which is a really dated reference, by the way.
Yeah, but I feel like that would have been the way to go with this, rather than...
Well, because then it would have given the audience some control. The whole reason you play a first-person shooter is because you feel like you're in the action. You're the one doing it.
Yeah.
If it was a VR experience where you were like, oh my God, I'm actually sitting here in this, that would have been awesome because you would have been in it. It would have been, the action was happening to you.
Exactly.
But just making this like a 3D movie wouldn't do that.
Exactly.
Even though that's what they advertise 3D movies do. But whatever.
But it's like...
It's literally watch your little brother play a first-person shooter.
I think the first time
He's good at it.
Yeah.
But
the first time I knew this movie was going to be bad.
Oh, God.
Was in my mind, because I had already heard about this movie and knew what the concept was. I was like, he's going to have sex with somebody.
Oh, God. And you're just going to see, like boobs pressing. It's going to be weird. Or it's going to be even weirder. Let's not talk about sex.
Yeah, let's not.
Nothing good is going to come from that. The moment I knew that this was going to be a horrible movie was the second that I saw, the weird, Assassin's Creed laboratory that she works in, and the weird $6 million man premise. I was like, oh no, this is gonna go that way, isn't it? It's gonna go bad AAA title video game, isn't it? And then I was right. Immediately afterward, I was like, oh, he's jumping out of a window and shooting people. Cool.
And then they committed the worst crime that this trailer does.
What?
They brought Queen into it.
Yeah, like,
they brought poor Queen.
Why did you have to... Dude, Queen would have been a great band for the roller coaster.
That is true.
Queen would have been awesome. And God damn it, Hardcore Henry. God damn it.
And it's my favorite Queen song. They had
Don't Stop Me Now. Like, so good. And it's like, no, this is so bad.
It's like Freddie Mercury didn't die for this.
Right? And like... You people, And
I feel like the main audience for this movie...
I'm going to put my hood up now and just think about how sad that actually makes me.
And the worst part about it is, I feel like the people that are going to see this movie don't know who Queen are.
Like, the target audience is like 15-year-old boys.
And they're going to go, wow, that song sucks. It sounds old.
Like, well, this doesn't match this at all. Like,
I think that's everyone's reaction.
I mean... Yeah,
killing is fun.
That was my reaction.
That's basically what that trailer says to you. Is killing is fun. You should do it.
Like let's take the whole violence in video game argument and apply it to film now. That's all this is. It's like My thing is that if you're gonna make a GoPro movie, you could have taken a different video game concept and made it interesting. Like I would love to do, like LA Noire is a fantastic game and I like that, but it works because it's so stylized and it's such a timepiece.
Yeah.
Whereas this is going to look dated as shit soon. Like in like a decade, this movie's going to look retarded. But if they had
made it... It looks retarded now.
I mean, I agree, but it's going to look worse. But if they had made it like a timepiece, like from like a noir, like, mystery where you feel like you're solving the mystery as the main character, and the main character kind of stays nameless, and you solve the mystery like piece by piece through this first-person perspective, would have been really interesting. Mind you, the problem with that is that you have to keep it interesting.
Yeah.
And keeping it interesting means making the dialogue really punchy, but that would have relied on good writing, not flashy effects, and that's, let's be honest, the problem with Hollywood now anyway.
Agreed. So, yeah. Derek, speaking of problems with Hollywood now.
My frustrating for this is I'm going to be pulling my hair out angry at how stupid this movie is.
Are you ready for what the critics said?
Yep.
51% critic score.
Are you
higher than it needs to be.
Are you fucking me?
Half the people liked it. I don't know.
No. A majority.
That's true because
slightly more than half. Worse odds than you get when betting on black. Like, what the fuck?
Oh, God. But you want to know what's worse?
No.
The user score.
Oh no.
Was 61.
You mean the people liked it more than the critics?
Yes.
I'm getting out of it.
No. Stay.
No, I can already tell you what's going to happen. We're going to go see this movie just jokingly horrible, like once it hits a dollar theater, because I mean, it's going to.
Yeah.
By the way, that's the only way we're going to see movies we expect to be awful is at a dollar theater. So, I mean, these reviews are going to come out much later, so they aren't relevant. But that way you'll know what we're talking about. And... dear God, I already know it's gonna. I'm gonna be eating my smuggled-in Dollar Tree food because we're already in a dollar theater. Who gives a shit?
Who gives a shit?
And I'm just gonna be like, I'm gonna be holding something. Something stupid's gonna happen. I'm gonna drop the thing I'm holding and then just go to the bathroom and bang my head on the wall for 5 minutes. It's like, God damn it! And then I'm gonna come back and not miss a fucking thing.
Nope. Oh, he's still killing people.
Yeah. Oh, he's still half naked for whatever the fuck reason. Jesus. Like it's cranked. Except from first person. It's cranked from first person. I just put that together, and I'm still not proud of it.
I actually just had that thought.
Like, I'm not proud of it.
Just like a couple minutes ago. I just couldn't find a place to put it in.
But Cranked is an okay movie.
Yeah, when it's not from first person.
Hang on. Well, once we do this, we need to look up what the review for Cranked is.
Okay.
We can compare it to Hardcore Henry. Because I want to know this. Thank God for the internet and cell phones and everything else. But... just why does this movie have to exist? It's literally, like, don't get me wrong, blending genres is fine. If they made an interactive movie experience, like the other side of this, if they made like a movie experience that was like interactive, where it was a kind of a choose your own adventure movie, that would be awesome. But instead, they're going about integrating video games into movies the wrong way by just shoving us into a first-person perspective and making it explosive.
Exactly.
I love Modern Warfare. Casuals. I'm so kidding.
You wanna know what the Crank score was?
What?
61.
Hey, so
yeah.
At least the critic or the
critic.
Okay, good. So Cranked at least outranks this movie.
Yeah,
Cranked was a good. Cranked is one of the There's a concept preface. One of the things I waste my time doing is watching the Game Grumps on YouTube.
Oh,
and
no.
I know I have to preface it. It's not a good sign. But one of the things that the two guys who host Game Grumps talk about is the movies that fucking rule concept. That, it's not an A movie. It's not like like The Godfather is like a movie that is just inherently good.
Yeah.
Like the first one.
Yeah, the first one.
The first one.
The first one.
Callbacks. Anyway, references to things we talked about earlier. But that movie's just inherently good. But like Demolition Man, like I talked about earlier, a movie that fucking rules. Like, it's not like if someone was like, show me the greatest movie of all time, you wouldn't show them Demolition Man. But like, it's a movie that you watch and you're like, this is fucking cool. But like RoboCop is fucking cool, mainly because every sequel to RoboCop's kind of shitty.
Yeah, no, RoboCop is
But like Beverly Hills Cop, the first one, is a good movie. And 2 is a good movie. Like, a movie that spawned good sequels isn't a movie that fucking rules.
Yes.
A standalone film that by itself is cool fucking rules.
Yeah.
Cranked is one of those movies for me.
Fair enough. It did have a sequel, though.
I agree, and it was horrible, but I pretend that it doesn't exist.
Okay, I'm sorry that I reminded you.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Movies that didn't need sequels. Cop, Princess Bride.
Speaking of movies that didn't need sequels.
Weird side notes. Anyway.
The next review we're doing is for the trailer for God's Not Dead 2.
Melissa Joan Hart, where did you go wrong?
I mean, did she ever go right? I mean, was Sabrina the Teenage Witch that good?
Where did we go right?
Where did we go right?
Anyway, dream rolls. Dude, I swear, if
Producers.
you and I were ever in the producers together, I would be just so excited.
Same.
It's still my favorite musical. Anyway,
so
God's Not Dead 2.
Context for the first time I saw this trailer.
No. What's God's Not Dead 1 about?
God's Not Dead 1.
Because I haven't seen God's Not Dead 1.
God's Not Dead 1.
And I promise you I'm going to see God's Not Dead 2 so I don't remember it.
Exactly.
Drunk. I'm going to see it drunk so I don't remember it. That's kind of an important word to forget in there.
Yes. Anyway, God's Not Dead 1 is a pandering propaganda film that is about a college student who mentions God in class, and the professor says, you can't do that here. You're not being respectful to other religions. Also, God's dead.
Like, college is some weird, atheist breeding pool.
Like, atheist liberal breeding pool, which it is, but...
I mean, some parts of it are. Let's not split hairs. That's true. I went to UGA, like shit. But, it's not a completely godless place where just people are fucking in the streets and murdering each other.
No,
there's just atheism.
That's the college I went to.
No, that's just Mississippi. Anyway.
Mainly the people watching this movie.
Yeah, if we have any people from Mississippi that like us and disagree with that statement, I'm sorry. I just like to make topical jokes about the South because, hey, I'm from here too.
Okay, so, anyway, God's Not Dead 2 is about a teacher who
Melissa Joan Hart.
Notably. Mind you, Sabrina the Teenage Witch. She played a witch on TV. The same people going to see this movie are the same people that tried to ban Harry Potter books back when...
Burned Harry Potter books. Burned 451 style.
When Melissa Joan Hart was Sabrina the fucking Teenage Witch on TV.
Had a talking cat and actively talked about, paganism. Anyway.
Just food for thought. If you like this movie... Fuck you.
He's pointing to the mic like you can see him, but know that he's wagging his finger like you're a dog and you did something wrong.
Anyway, the movie's about a teacher.
Yes, we covered that.
Who starts talking...
No, the school has banned, any talk about God.
Yes.
Because they don't want to upset people.
And a student asks a question about Jesus or whatever,
yeah,
and then
she responds by saying, yes, Jesus did do that.
And then, apparently...
One of the other kids got butthurt and told his parents that she said Jesus.
And then someone from the county decided that this is a federal level court case.
And they bring this to the Supreme Court.
And
what's the thing that her lawyer keeps shouting?
I'll get to that in a minute. But anyway, the Supreme Court judge who's overseeing this also, and I quote in the trailer, says, "We are going to prove once and for all that God is dead."
What kind of golden compass shit are we getting into with this fucking movie?
I don't know, but apparently,
as somebody who... I'm Catholic. I describe myself as Catholic. To this day, I was raised Catholic. My morals are very Catholic-based. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. That's all a part of me. However...
It's a part of you.
I'm smart enough to recognize obvious propaganda.
Yes.
Obvious... This would have stopped at freedom of speech. Like, yes. I know my rights, and I know the laws of America, just like I know the Bible, and like I know like the ideas of Christianity. And this is already a really fucking stupid premise.
Exactly, because it would never happen.
Ever!
No one would take this to the federal level.
There's no way separation of church and state would, like, override it this way either. Like,
no.
That was the idea, is that, like, we have to have the separation of church. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, is this propaganda to, like, actively integrate the church into the legal system?
It's
Jesus.
No.
That's not going to change with a Melissa Joan Hart movie.
It's more than that. It's what pisses me off about this concept.
Sidebar. Have you heard of a TV show called Bible Man?
Yes. I have a Bible Man tape in my garage. It's awesome.
We need to do a Frust-Rated of that at some point.
Oh, yes.
Oh, my God.
Anyway.
I just remember my aunt making me and my cousins watch it and being like, what is this?
What?
This isn't Power Rangers. I want to listen to Sammy Hagar of Van Halen.
Because you were a Satan child.
And now I listen to the real music.
To the real music for the real gothic people.
Oh, kill yourself, please. No, I mean that one album that the guy from Extreme was on.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I am making deep Van Halen jokes for the record. Diamond Dave for life, everybody.
I have no idea what any of that means. Anyway.
You don't know. Okay, yeah. I need to educate you on classic rock, son.
Back to what I was saying. The worst part about this movie is, who are they?
Who is this for?
They're pandering to the people that already believe this anyway.
Like who's going to watch this? Atheists who want to make fun of it. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Internet nerds because they think it's funny. Hi. Yeah, I mean, that's why we're watching it. And people who already actively agree and believe this, so they're not going to change anyone's minds. It's people who want to make fun of it, people who actively disagree with it and show that there's propaganda and faltering and corruption, and people who already agree with it. This isn't going to change anyone's minds. This isn't going to teach anybody anything new. It's just going to spread misinformation and give ammo to people who are actively anti-religion.
And it's also going to sell a lot of movie tickets.
Unfortunately.
Which brings me...
Yeah, dear God, what's the critic
Which brings me to the last point. The critic score for this movie is, of course, 11%. Abysmal. However...
Rotten Tomatoes.
The bad thing about this...
Oh, no.
The user score...
How good is the user score?
The user score is a 62.
I was about to say, if it's over 50, my faith in humanity is gone, but my faith remains resolute.
My faith remains resolute, but I don't like the people.
Like, I believe that God made everyone and everything like that, but he didn't make them right.
And on that note...
Oh, God. We're going to go see these movies and get back to you about how god-awful they are when they hit dollar theaters, because I'm not paying full movie ticket price to see movies I know I'm going to fucking hate.
Or we'll pirate it.
Shh, we already have them on our trail for talking about LimeWire.
Yay, watermarks!
Yay, callbacks, again. Again, if you can just go through and list all the references we made, hats off to you. And if we can make this a recurring thing, we'll keep just adding in sneaky references. Sneaky snack. I'm a sneaky snack. I'm a snack. Kill me.
I will.
I'm clearly a little loopy.
And on that note, that's all we have.
I thought your name was Derek. Punch.
On that note, that's all we have time for today.
Oh, hang on. Something I didn't mention during the Star Wars bit of this, which I know was like half an hour ago. Okay. One of my favorite jokes I've seen in a long time was Anakin lost a hand, Luke lost a hand, Leia lost a hand.
Oh.
Technically, she lost 2 hands. 2 loving ones that embraced her at least a little bit.
This is it for the bi-monthly annual Sadcast.
Oh, again, hashtag Sadcast.
Hashtag Sadcast.
All right, guys. Later.
All right. Bye.
Bye.